Twitter's 11 board members right now reportedly in discussions with Elon Musk, now exploring his $43 billion offer to buy the company outright. The meeting taking place after the social media giant adopted a, quote, poison pill measure last week, which limited shareholder rights. For more on the story, we'll head to our New York studio to national correspondent Mike Carter with the very latest on this. Mike.
Hey, good morning, Sean. Yeah, according to some reports, that meeting between Musk and Twitter's board went into the wee hours this morning and will continue throughout the day today. Well, what had initially seemed to be a highly improbable deal now appears to be heading towards an endgame. Sources telling the New York Times today that Twitter is now nearing a deal to sell itself to Elon Musk. According to a securities filing late last week, Elon Musk is exploring whether to commence a tender offer to buy out Twitter after securing $46.5 billion in financing. Musk says he has the backing of several big banks, including Morgan Stanley and Bank of America. According to the filing, in all, $25.5 billion would come from about a dozen banks across Wall Street and the rest of the world, with Morgan Stanley providing the biggest chunk, about $5.5 billion from that bank. A number of Twitter shareholders reportedly contacted the company over the weekend after Musk announced the financing plan, urging it not to miss the opportunity for a potential deal. Earlier this month, Musk offered to buy out Twitter outright for $54.20 a share, or about $43 billion, but many questioned the sincerity of that bid, doubting that Musk would actually secure the capital needed to buy the company outright. Well, now Musk has apparently done just that, and never one to shy away from controversy. Over the weekend, Musk chiding Twitter in a series of tweets, even alluding to his potential takeover. In one cryptic tweet, Musk accusing Twitter of conspiring to shadow ban accounts, something many users feel is a common practice on the platform. And Musk even poking fun at fellow billionaire Bill Gates with this image of the Microsoft founder next to a pregnant man emoji. Is there a similarity there? Well, we'll let you be the judge on that one. The Wall Street Journal says Twitter intends to address Musk's bid on its first quarter earnings call on Thursday at the latest, but many believe, as Sean just said, a deal could be struck as early as today. Guys?
Yeah, something to watch today. If you're looking for something kicking off your Monday, there it is. Mike Carter reporting live in New York. Mike, thank you.
You got it.
Meanwhile, for reaction, we'll bring our panelists in. With us today, a senior contributor at The Federalist and fellow at the Claremont Institute, that is Ben Weingarten. We also have Newsmax contributor, ambassador with America First Policy Institute, Tom Borelli, plus former Nevada State GOP chairwoman and Republican strategist Amy Tarkanian. Good to see everyone here. Ben, if I could just start with you on this. So here we are. We thought it wouldn't happen, and we thought it would happen. Then Musk sent another cryptic tweet saying that moving on, I believe he put at one point, had many wondering what is happening here. But bottom line, here we are today. It actually may go through today. We may have something to report. What do you think on that, Ben?
Yeah, you can hear the shrieks coming from Silicon Valley to Washington, D.C. right now, because what this bid represents is an opportunity for the digital public square to actually be freed up again, which the powers that be, the political establishment, progressive journalists, those in big tech and beyond, loathe the fact that perhaps this platform where the most important, significant ideas are disseminated might actually be once again freed to the public. Elon Musk himself has said that this is really purely a philosophical bid. He doesn't really care to make money on this, doesn't necessarily expect to make money on this. We'll see ultimately how it plays out. But that said, this is a huge potential win for the American people to get their speech back in a sphere that has become a First Amendment sphere because of how the government has pressured it to censor and shadow ban Americans.
I don't think it's talked about enough, too, and I get if you were prioritizing the topics, obviously free speech would be at the top, but let's not forget, there's about to be some rich Twitter shareholders if this deal actually does go through.
Correct. And we are in a bear market. So this actually will be extremely financially beneficial for those investors. And also, I think for Elon Musk in the end, even if he is doing this just to make a point, I think the fact that, and I don't even know what his party affiliation is, and honestly, I don't care, but the fact that we now have rational, reasonable human beings who know for a fact that our first speech has been squashed for so long, that shadow banning is real, that our Twitter purges do happen, and the fact that we have, third world mass murderers that are still allowed to speak, but former President Trump is not. And I also have friends at the local level who have been kicked off of Twitter just for voicing their opinions, against social issues. It's a joke. And so I think that this is actually pretty hysterical to watch Elon Musk trolling these individuals. I have him on notification because I love watching what he's doing, and he's angering these leftists, and it's beautiful.
Let me play this for you really quick. This is talking about Musk, talking about freedom of speech versus hate speech. It's a quick soundbite, but here's that, kind of honing in on what Amy was talking about.
Well, I think we would want to err on this. If in doubt, let the speech, let it exist.
Very quick there, but again, he's ultimately saying let it exist there, Tom Borelli. Your thoughts on that? Again, Musk, the deal may go through, and he's trying to get free speech back in there, whether you like the speeches, whether you don't like it. Your thoughts?
Well, I think he's pretty clear in his assessment. He wants to err on the side of freedom of speech, and he also mentioned how important that is for democracy and long-term civilization. Totally agree. Mr. Musk is going to be a disruptor. The way he disrupted the car market with his electric cars, Tesla, he's going to disrupt the major media networks who are all in with the Democrat left-wing narrative. Now there's going to be competition. I think this is fantastic for the American people. I think it's fantastic for Twitter shareholders. I do expect to go through. After all, there's an auction, and Musk is the only one who've put out a bid. So I think this is great news for the American people, and I look forward to not being, squashed with my tweets as, among many other Americans.
There's a lot of Twitter jailed Americans out there that may get their accounts back. We'll see. Either way, we are on Twitter Watch today, day one. So it begins. Ben Weingarten, Tom Borelli, Amy Turkanian. Thank you so much. Good to see you.